Hey there. Welcome to another HSA. You might be wondering what that is. Hospitality Service Announcement. Welcome. Hey, Al, what up?
Welcome. What up, B? Got another week here. Another week.
So tell us,
All
what are we
right.
talking about? What's the announcement today, this week?
The announcement this week is hours of operation.
Woo!
Hours of operation.
Yeah.
So, case scenario. Case scenario. Somebody's planning a wedding for 2025. I think it's October of 2025, if I remember correctly. Um, so ask a bunch of questions, give you your information. That's fine. That's not a big deal. You ask when you could come in to do, take a look at the property.
hmm
When is your availability? Okay, my availability is Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Well, I can only come on Sundays. Okay. Um, this is the hours. You asked me my availability. These are the hours. And then she's like, well, we work Monday through Friday and we don't get off till 6. In my head, I'm like, you're planning a wedding, which is usually 9 times out of 10, a once in a lifetime thing. Some people's twice in a lifetime. But either way, I look at it like you want to rent a venue to come to have your event. With that comes, there are going to be days that you're going to have to take off. I feel like that's legit. There's days that you're going to have to come in for a tasting. I'm sure you're going to have to go to cake tastings. I'm sure you have to go do wedding fittings, wedding dress fittings. All of these things, I'm sure we're not the only one who have business hours.
Correct.
So then she proceeds, and I didn't explain all of that, but I just said, like, these are, and she was like, well, if we decide to move forward, is there anything else that we have to do during the week? I said, unfortunately, like a tasting, the chef only does tastings Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
hmm
She's like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to take a day off. In my mind, I'm like, this is what I'm thinking if you want to have something here, right?
Right.
So then, fast forward. That was the end of that conversation. She's like, all right, well, I'll talk to my fiance and we'll schedule something. I don't know. A week went by. Then she hits me up and is like, oh, are you available on this Sunday and that Sunday? And I'm thinking in my head, like, didn't we have this conversation already? So then I'm like, I'm going to take another angle. Okay. I will check to see if the room is available. However, 9 times out of 10, most events are happening on the weekend.
hmm
So, out of respect, and these people are contracted space, we do not do tours through people's functions.
Respectfully.
Respectfully,
hmm
respectfully, because if you have a whole wedding going on, are you okay with us parading through your event? Probably not. So I said, let me see if I can get somebody to come on a Sunday because I was like, this girl's clearly speaking a different language. And sure enough, the 2 dates that she says, we happen to have an event in that particular room that they're here for 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened it worked out. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes again to show we have stuff going on. And I'm just letting you not let her know, like, listen, for the next 2 weeks, 15 days, we actually have an event in there going on. I don't know what you're gonna
See,
tell
this
me.
is the thing. Like, I feel like they don't understand. Just like you're shopping venues for events, other people do too. So the hotel doesn't just sit empty based on waiting for you to book your event. Dates, space,
Mm-hmm.
site visits, or based upon availability of what my schedule and based on what you need to make sure that I'm putting the best foot forward to give you option to show you exactly and to paint the vision. Because the thing is, once you come in the space, you're gonna have questions. You're gonna
Yeah.
want to,
And I can't,
yeah,
yeah. And then she's like, is it somebody else? I'm like, well, yeah, the bellman might be here, but the bellman's not going to be able to answer the questions that you need to answer.
right.
And, I understand everyone has a schedule. I
hmm
understand that. But I just think that if you're planning something, you're going to have to make concessions for you having to take
Mhm.
time off from work. I'm sorry, it is what it is, because even when your wedding day comes and you're getting married on a Saturday,
Mhm.
I'm sure you're taking Friday off.
Mhm. I would hope more than
I'm
that
just
the whole week.
I would hope. Yeah, and to make it so bad, this is a wedding for like 400 people. Like, I'm assuming you're gonna be taking a week off,
Right,
something.
right. But yeah, but
So,
I do agree
I
with you.
just
Like at the end
need
of the day, even though hotels have venues, sometimes, yes, some depending on how staffed they are, how big they are, the resort, the team, there are hours. There might be somebody there on the weekend. There might not be somebody there. It all depends on the property. It all depends on the schedule. All depends on the sales manager's time. It all depends if the availability of the space is open. So if we're telling you no, it's not because we don't want to earn your business. It's literally
Mhm.
for these different reasons. And the thing
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
we work just like you say, oh, I work Monday through Friday from 8 to 6. I work Monday through
Yeah.
Friday from 7 to 6 because
Mhm.
some of y'all be coming in at 5 o'clock and then want to stay there. So it's like 10
That's the
hours. 10
thing.
hours. I've been here for 5 days
Yeah.
to 50 hours. And you want me to come in
Yeah.
and let me ask you this. Do I have a check in hand when you come?
Nope. Nope. No contract, no nothing. Just wanna come look. No.
You can
Mm-mm.
send somebody to do that.
So, you really
You
could.
could send a if you don't have a contract or a check that you're gonna give me when you want me to come
That's
on
a
a
very
day
good point.
outside, you better send a
That's true.
family members that can record
That is
that for
true.
you on FaceTime while you at
That
work
is
since you
very
can.
true.
And they can send it because then all
Mhm.
you are is at this point in your planning decision factor. So you want me to come in on a day where I don't work? If you can't take off or your fiance, both of y'all can work it out to take off, then y'all need to send a trusted wedding planner, a planner, or a family member
Mhm.
that could come
Mhm.
in and record. Because the great thing about social media now with iPhones and all that, you could do FaceTime, you could do Zoom call, you could do a whole lot of recording and then
Yeah.
send it to them where you are able to see exactly. You can have the person call
Yep.
you on FaceTime. So that way, if you do have questions, you could ask the question. Well, I've done all of the
Mhm.
above for people that can't, their schedule or tied, or even
I've even done that. I've done, like, I have, a bride that just signed a contract next year, and I think she lives, like, in Chicago or something,
mhm.
and I did FaceTime and showed her the ballroom, and she was like, "Alright, bet.
Yeah.
Where do I send the check?"
Yeah, there's people
Come
that are
on. Come
like
on.
we have planners that they're not local in our area. They don't live on property like we do. You know what I mean? And they have to make decision because they're either across the pond to the other. You know what I mean? There's international
Yeah.
planners. There's people that are on the
Mhm.
opposite side of the coast. So yeah, unless you got a contract
Yeah.
and you got a check in hand, I'm
No.
sorry.
So, with that being said, if you're planning a life event, because I'm gonna call it a life
Hmm.
event,
Absolutely.
you need to make the proper arrangements to know and also budget that you're going to have to take several days off, because it's not only us with the
Hmm.
venue. I'm sure you have other pieces
Hmm.
of the pie that you have to take off also too. And if you're not prepared to do that, there's always the backyard.
And that's the
You know, that's
thing.
my favorite line.
A tip.
There's always the
Yes. And
backyard.
I think that's a tip that you just drop on them if they're catching it. Plan to do, if you're going to take a day off, make it worth where you are scheduling a bunch of things that you need to do that day to make
Mhm.
it work for your life event. You could do that. So let's say you want to see flowers, you want to see cake, you want to see all these things, and you need to see a venue. Okay, tell your work, okay, accordingly get a schedule of okay, maybe you see 3 4 different things that day to make it worth your time if you just don't want to take off for just seeing a venue, or again because you don't have a contract, that means you're also seeing other venue. Plan to see all the other things that you want to see on that day that will help you with taking your day off. Tip.
Look at that.
Service announcement and a
Boom.
tip. You're welcome.
Gems drop. Have a nice day, people. Peace.
Peace.